Welcome to Fat Man Getting Fit, the show where I share with you all of my research and trials with health. So the most bizarre thing once happened to me when I went to the gym. I was there looking like I do. I was in the pool, so my shirt was off, and I was actually running in the water. I was not swimming. And this man, much thinner than myself, came up to me and started asking about nutrition. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but I'm not exactly a paragon of health here. I look like I do. I'm a very large man. At present, I weigh about 335 pounds. So I don't think I'm the guy that should be giving you advice on nutrition. And then there's the other point that, well, if you're going to the gym and you don't know proper nutrition, then it's like driving your car in a race without knowing what kind of gasoline to put in. You gonna run a race with regular? Probably not. Most race cars don't take regular. So, just saying. Now, look, okay, if you're watching this video, you're probably like me. You've made the decision to be healthy. Okay? This is an active decision in the modern world. You have to make this decision. You want to be healthy. Well, the very first thing you need to control is diet. Because that's the fuel that makes your body go. And without the right fuel, your body doesn't go. You need water to lubricate your muscles and joints and to be the catalyst for all the reactions in your body. You need starches to power your body. You need proteins to rebuild your body. And you need all the vitamins and minerals that go with that so you can achieve peak performance and you can make your gains in the gym. So you cannot get healthy, not really healthy, without having an appropriate diet. Now, when I say diet, I don't mean one of those silly things you get on to lose weight, those diet plans. Let me tell you something. I once went into a bookstore with my old man, and he grabbed a whole bunch of diet books. So he had this stack, 3, 4, maybe 5 diet books. And I looked at him and I said, "Dad, you have read more diet books than any person I know, and you're still fat. Maybe they're not working for you." And he said, "Richard, diet books are my favorite form of science fiction." And let's think about that for a moment, okay? My dad, he went on the candy diet, where you eat nothing but candy, and he lost weight. He went on the staple diet, where you get a staple put in your ear, and every time you're hungry, you stroke the staple. And he lost weight and got an ear infection. He went on the Atkins diet, where you eat nothing but protein. And then one day he ate a piece of bread and gained 16 pounds in 6 hours. So, yes, he did lose weight on the Atkins diet, but he had a horrible backlash. So, diets. Temporary things you go on to lose weight. Take that idea, here's the idea, crumble it up, throw it out. No. What do I mean when I say appropriate diet? I mean how you're going to eat for the rest of your life. I mean, this is it. This is the basic nutrition you need to understand before you ever touch the weight equipment, before you ever go to the gym, before you put on the silly workout suit and go jogging in the morning. What do you need to know about how you're supposed to eat for the rest of your life? I'm going to tell you right here today. Okay. First rule of nutrition. There is no such thing as a healthy meal without a glass of water. Water. You need it to be healthy. Not going to get healthy without drinking water. Point number 1. Okay. So you got that? At least 3 glasses of water a day with every meal. You should definitely drink more water than that. But you need water to digest your food. And you should start drinking that water before you drink anything else or before you eat anything else. The water will fill your stomach, make you feel fuller longer. It will get your metabolism going. That's point number one. Water. Most important part of every meal. Now, okay, this is your plate. Alright? Cut your plate in half. First half of the plate, vegetables. Just to be clear here, those vegetables do not include potatoes. They do not include corn. They do not include most starchy vegetables. Okay? It's just one of those things. You need a very, very diverse group of vegetables on this plate, preferably. But generally, okay, vegetable, leaf, stalk, or stem, sometimes a root. Okay? Carrots count as vegetables. Not a great vegetable, but they count. Got beta-carotene, good for you. Kale, love the kale. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, I eat huge amounts of that. Asparagus, mushrooms count as vegetables, even though they're a fungi. Vegetables, half of what you eat. 50% of the material you consume by volume, not including water, is vegetables. Okay? Just to be clear on that, yes, you will still need to drink water, but you will get a lot of water from those vegetables. It's point one. Now, for the rest of the plate, don't drop your plate. Very important. Okay, for the rest of the plate, you draw the line down the middle, and then here, starch, protein. 1/4 of your plate is starch, 1/4 of your plate is protein. Okay, you have your vegetables, you have your starch, you have your protein. I'm going to say this very simply. Don't go throwing out food. First off, it's going to take you a while to get to this. But don't go throwing out food. So you got your starch there, which covers 1/4 of your plate. If you have potatoes, those are fine. You know, a beer would count as a starch, although in moderation, remember. When I drink soda, if it's a regular meal, that's a starch. I shouldn't drink soda, but if you want a dessert, the starch is your dessert, and then the rest of that you should really fill with vegetables. To be clear, it's hard to eat too many vegetables. They're very low in calories. Okay? Whole grain starches are better. I'm going to do a tutorial on starches later, so watch out for that. But like I say, you're going to have to work up to this, so don't go out throwing food. You know, just focus on the food you have, buy more when you need more, but don't go throwing out food because that's a mistake. Now protein, what's protein? Cheese, meat, fish, tofu. Basically everything that's a protein. Beans are hard to categorize, but generally speaking, you can consider them as a protein or a starch or a vegetable if you want to. They're really universal. You could also consider them both your protein and your starch, but you tend not to be filled with beans. Beans don't satisfy the way other things do. They do fill your stomach. So that's the thing. Whatever you have is a protein. Now, if you have fried chicken, got breading on it, I generally consider that my starch. Okay, that's just my thing. If I have pizza, generally pizza's always going to be too much. You can never just have one slice. But that would be both protein and starch. So you don't need those. Or you don't need to add a starch if you're having pizza. You don't need to add a protein. The pizza's both. That's the thing. Okay, now, I should probably put this down because I'm done talking about this. So, you now understand what a healthy meal is. You got a glass of water, 50% of the material is vegetables, 25% of it is starch, and 25% of it is protein. And you're looking at me going, but that sucks. Yes, it does. I'm going to tell you, it is really hard to do that. I've been trying to do that for 6 months, and I have only lost 15 pounds, give or take. It's hard to do that. I would actually recommend probably the first, maybe you try to focus on this once a day, or if you're really bad off, 3 times a week. Dinner is generally the meal that you do the most cooking on. So that's the one that I first started, okay, I'm going to have a healthy dinner. That was my decision. And, you know, yes, I have at least 1 healthy meal every day. I'm trying to get it to 3 healthy meals every day. But it starts with dinner, because that was the one I did the most cooking for. Then, breakfast. I actually have a blog, Richard Reviews Everything. You want to search it? Richard Reviews Everything blog. I'll include a link. And in that, everything I eat at home, I try to show in the understanding of what a healthy meal looks like. So when I have breakfast, 1 serving of cereal is my starch. 1 serving of milk is my protein, although I need more protein than that, so I might add a hard-boiled egg. And then vegetables with a nice big glass of water. You can see this is what I might eat for breakfast on that blog. It's all perfectly natural. Now, at an optimum level, you're going to be eating 2 regular meals, like McDonald's, a week. That's an so if you go out with your friends twice a week you can have just a whatever meal, generally speaking. And some people will say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a perfect diet. And then 4 weeks in, they have 1 regular meal. It flips them out, and they screw this off entirely. Okay, you really do need to have some regular food in your diet. Look, here's the thing. Once you get used to it, you get used to eating vegetables all the time. It's really not that bad. You need to know how to season them. But you can get used to that. You can get used to eating whole grains most of the time. But you are never going to give up the foods you love. It just doesn't work that way. You know, so that's what you do. And by the way, that idea that you should leave food on your plate, stupid. The idea that you should take half of what you eat at a restaurant home, stupid. Okay? You have 2 reasonable cheat meals. Cheat meals, by the way, is what a bodybuilder would call them. When he's in his regular routine, not preparing for a competition, but beefing up, not the cutting phase, call them cheat meals. 2 cheat meals a week, 2 regular meals, 2 meals of you go out with your friends, have a couple of beers and a few slices of pizza. This is not, oh, it's my cheat meal. I'm going to eat 4 pizzas and 2 6-packs of no. Reasonable food. But don't sit there at the restaurant and say, well, I'm going to leave something on my plate. That's dumb. Don't sit there and say, I'm going to take something home. Because point 1, normally what you leave on your plate is the vegetables, which are the best part for you. And point 2, why would you not just order or cook less? Why would you waste food? That's dumb. It's bad for your budget. Now, if you go to a restaurant, you're with your friends, you order a dessert, you figure, maybe I'm not going to finish that. Hey, cut it in half, offer half of it to somebody. Yeah, you could take that home, have it for a dessert at your next cheat meal, or have it as your starch. That's fine. Do that. Don't waste food. That's just dumb. No wasting food. Wasting food's a no-no. Now, to be clear, what does a healthy meal look like? Glass of water, 50% vegetables, 25% starch, 25% protein. Start by drinking water, then move on to the vegetables for two reasons. One, vegetables are hard to eat. Trust me on this one. You're always going to be compelled to leave that last bit of broccoli on the plate or the last shreds of lettuce in your salad. Don't do that. Eating vegetables is important. Getting all those vegetables in is a big thing. Don't get them all in, you're probably going to feel hungry later. Just to be clear. And the second reason is vegetables have a low glycemic index. What does that mean? That means that when you eat vegetables, there is a small spike in your insulin levels. And why would you want a small spike in your insulin? Well, it's really simple. Eating foods that cause large spikes in your insulin, like say sugar or soda or certain breads without fiber, tend to bring you closer to diabetes. It's easier on your body if you get a small spike in insulin first without making your body go crazy, because if you make your body go crazy, well then you get diabetes. So bad. Diabetes bad. Remember, the whole point of being healthy is to have a good life. Let me tell you something. I watched my old man go through every diet in the world. None of them worked. Well, they all worked. He always lost weight, and he always gained it back. And at 70 years old, he wound up in a nursing home. I don't think the man can even wipe his own back end. Do you want that to be you? Hey, look. You know, lots of healthy people die in their 70s. Still happens. And there is some sanding going on. Oh well. Lots of healthy people die in their 70s. It still happens. But you know what? Assuming they don't go to prison because they killed the guy that's sanding while they're trying to film a video, they live healthier, happier lives for the time they are on Earth. That's kind of the point of health. It's not necessarily so you'll live long, it's so that you'll live good. Anyway, this is the advice I have to take. And I'm going to stop filming now because there's sanding going on. But I just hope this has been informative for you. Yeah, so I got this video onto my computer talking about a healthy meal and realized I talked about vegetables but forgot to talk about fruit. Here's why. Vegetables are actually kind of better for you. They have what's referred to as a lower glycemic index. Therefore, vegetables are more filling. If you have to have fruit, you still have that in moderation. And if you have 3 servings of fruit, cut out your starch. It's a basic thing. Fruit tends to have more calories than vegetables. That's what it's like. That's life. It's probably a lot easier to eat an apple than it is to eat broccoli. And it's even easier to drink apple juice. That's why juice generally considers a carbohydrate. And fruit is somewhere between carbohydrates and vegetables. As a basic understanding of nutrition, that's what you got to do. Now, just as a note, I may have mentioned this in the previous video, I don't remember, but on my blog, I review everything. Richard reviews everything. Which means if it exists, I kind of have to review it. So I review beer, I review soda, I review candy. Always showing what a healthy meal was like if I ate it at home. So if you have your favorite food, and you want to know how to keep your favorite food in your diet, you're having that problem with this system, write your favorite food down in the system, or go to my blog, Richard Reviews Everything, and just say, hey, why don't you review this? I will truck. Go to my blog, Richard Reviews Everything, write down, say, hey, why don't you review this? I will do my absolute best. Car. Go to my blog, Richard Reviews Everything, say, why don't you review this? And I will do my absolute best to review that thing. Okay? I will show you what healthy is. You will see me getting healthier as time goes on. Alright? That's my 50 cents for the week. Peace out. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Fat Man Getting Fit. I do this shirtless because I have to deal with fat shaming at work. And part of good health is being comfortable with your own body. Thank you for coming with me on my journey to a healthier self and seeing my failures and successes. After all, when you look at a fitness trainer, do you believe they have the same problems you have? It's important to remember that I'm not a doctor and I'm not here to treat what ails you. If you need that kind of help, go see a licensed physician. I'm here to find what I need in life, and that may also apply to you.